everyone. So today we are going to do one writing task 2, and the question is the best way to deal with the rising traffic and transportation is to encourage people to live in cities rather than in suburbs. So these type of questions sometimes come in Ielts, like they mention one problem in the question, but at the same time they give you one solution in question as well as an option if you agree with that solution or not. Or what we do in these type of questions, if we are agree with that solution, then we can say that we are 70% agree or 30% disagree. At the same time we can go 50-50. So when we go 50-50 in these type of questions, that becomes very easy to attempt it. So this is the same way which we are going to use today. We will say 50% we are agree that if people would shift themselves into city areas, the traffic problems would get reduced, and 50% we want to say that it will increase the traffic if people will shift into the cities. So after both sides we can mention our choice also, because they want to have some solution, and we can write in another paragraph that there are some other ways to solve this situation. So to what extent do you agree or disagree? We are 50-50, 50% agree, 50% disagree. So when we are 50% agree or disagree, first of all we want to mention it in the form of debate, because it's definitely a debate. You can say the debate is going on whether the migration in urban areas should be done by people in order to reduce traffic problems in future. So in the BP1 we want to say we are agree with it. If this migration happens, it's very beneficial. Why? The first point is the boom means increase in utilization of public transportation in urban areas owing to easy accessibility, because we all know in the metropolitan cities there are lots of public transportation facilities. Private buses we can see, and we can see the city buses as well. So it's very convenient to use the public transportation. If people are living, most of the people are living in the cities, means they would start using the public transportations. If they will start using the public buses or city buses, in that case automatically the counting of private cars on the road will decline. So means it's a positive solution. And in the second side we can say, second point we can say less population in rural areas, because people are migrating from village to rural areas. So the counting of people in the countryside will be less in future. So it will lead to, or we can say leads to diminish in motor vehicles. If there are less people are living in countryside areas, so obviously they would use less vehicles. The use of automation and the motor vehicles would reduce in the city, in the countryside areas, because there would be less people. Most of the people are shifting themselves towards the metropolitan cities. So this will reduce in carbon emission. So means reduction in carbon emission would automatically happen. So less carbon emission means less pollution problems as well. The third point we want to mention in the favor of this migration is amenities. Amenities are available at short distance. So everything in city is available at a short distance. Every sector has its own market, own hospital, and on other facilities like restaurants and malls as well. So means if we want to cover the short distance, we don't even need the buses, or we don't even need the private vehicles as well. So the distance even can be covered by walk. So it's healthy for the individuals as well if they will walk a lot. At the same time it will reduce traffic, because they are not using any type of vehicles like cars or not even the public transportation. So means this is a positive point of this migration. Now after writing the BP1 we can talk, there are 3 points in the BP1 we have mentioned, and you can write the BP1 in 2 ideas as well if you are explaining it in detail. In BP2 we will write against this migration, means this is not as good idea to migrate in cities to solve this traffic problem. The first reason is cars are more convenient as compared to buses. Traffic congestion hurdles means problems. So traffic congestion problems would increase. So what we want to say is that it doesn't matter how many people are shifting in cities. If they are too much addicted to use the private vehicles because of the convenience they are getting in the cars and so on, so it doesn't matter even the location is very near to them, they will still addict to use their private vehicles. So that addiction is the problem, not the problem of population. So means we are saying if this migration would happen, it would not help to reduce the traffic congestion hurdle. The second point we want to justify is in extreme hot and cold weather. So we know all public transportation buses don't have the facility of air conditioners or heaters during the winter season. So means if we are using our own cars, we do have these facilities. So in terms of hot and cold extreme weathers, what we would prefer, we would definitely prefer our cars because we can't get that facilities in the public transportation. So people feel uncomfortable in public transports. So chances in reduction of vehicles are less, or almost we can say negligible, because people would always prefer their comfort zone to have their journey. So these are the two negative points against this migration. And in BP3, now there is a problem in the question, obviously we want to sort it out. So what we want to say, we are suggesting some other ways. You can suggest one single way also in BP3 if you want to, but I am here suggesting two ways to solve this problem. So the first way is modifications in road infrastructure will assist to divide traffic appropriately, such as we can give the example of flyovers. So if the problem is related to traffic, why we are focusing on the population? We should focus on the road infrastructure, because lots of roads are narrow in nature, and if we want to divide that traffic, we can construct new flyovers which would definitely divide the traffic congestion, and it would become convenient for people to use their vehicles. At the same time, the another solution which we want to suggest is progression in countryside. Now from where the migration we were talking about it started, they are shifting from rural areas to cities. So we are saying that we should work on the route, we should not focus on the migration. If the progression of countryside areas can hinder the migration from village to city, as all fundamental needs of people would be satisfied in local areas. So if they are living in their local areas, in the countryside, in the rural areas, and they are getting all type of facilities, the entertainment, the education, medical facility and everything, so why would they shift themselves towards the city? So if that migration we would stop, that brain drain we will stop, in that case automatically the traffic problem will get reduced. So in the conclusion, after giving these two solutions, and then we can focus on the conclusion that although shifting in metropolitan areas might help, here I want to highlight that we are using the word might, not will, because we have given both positive and negative sides. We are just making it as a prediction. So it might help to decline traffic problems, but other methods, which other methods? This which we have discussed in BP3. So other methods should also be considered evenly, means equally. So instead of focusing on the migration, we should consider other solutions to reduce the traffic problem in future. I hope you understand the topic in a very good way. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe this channel and hit the like button as well. Thank you.